Alrighty.
Use yours?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I never noticed those.
Is that cat okay?
Yeah, she just meows.
It's just her meow sounds.
Oh, her meow sounds all fainted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why she meows like that. If you're gonna meow like that, why even bother? Her name is Bucky because of her one middle arm.
Oh, her.
See that?
What's up with it?
Well, because she's got a colored arm, so it's supposed to be like Bucky, you know, like the metal arm.
Bucky.
Captain America is...
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she's not a very good roommate. She needs to get a job already. Pull her weight.
Like, when did you find her?
She was a stray that was born here from another stray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she had feline AIDS, and then my
Damn.
brother and his girlfriend took her and got her fixed up. She was like skin and bones for a little while, but now she's all healthy.
Dang.
She's living in the house. And she was like the cat with the most friendly personality, you know?
Yeah.
She came up to everybody and was like,
Meow.
yeah. More like, "Rah."
Well, aren't we all that way sometimes?
Yeah. All right.
So, like, what do you remember? Let's see. So, how did we meet?
You and I, or
Yeah.
are we Christopher and Robert?
We're Christopher and Robert.
Okay, Christopher and Robert. So you're Robert, I'm
Yeah.
Christopher.
Yeah.
How did Christopher and Robert meet?
Yeah.
Do you know how they meet? Because
Well, just basically just, copy and paste our name.
Yeah, I was actually going to say Christopher and Robert met at a coffee shop.
Just, basically it's just us, but we have different names.
Okay.
So
we definitely met at a coffee shop, Christopher and Robert. Yeah. Met at a coffee shop. I remember the bookish fellow. Always had his laptop, was writing, reading, learning some, whether it be like a language or just maybe checking out films, or he'd be reading books.
yeah.
Having a cup of coffee. Yeah.
I drank a dangerous level of caffeine back then. I think I would spend, let's see. I think what I would do is I would spend Fridays were my days off back then, and I would just get a bottomless coffee and keep drinking until it was time to close, and I didn't have any internet back then, so
Wi-Fi there.
yeah.
Long hair.
I did. That was part of my saga for a while, I guess, and
Some long hair.
now my hair is just kind of a mess, but I basically looked like indie hipster Jesus back then, I think. But then again, so did you at one point.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. But did I get you on film for any of that?
No.
Dang.
Never got that.
Dang. I missed the whole Jesus period.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I remember, I think you were wearing all black and a white shirt. I don't know if I think that's the first outfit I remembered you in, or if that was just when we met for discussing the first music video. Because I remember we were talking, and I think you were there were two events that took place really close together. One was you were eating tacos, and the other we were talking about making a music video. And I think we had Eli as a mutual friend, and
Yes.
yeah, and I remember you made really good paninis.
I was managing that little sandwich spot for a while.
Yeah, that was
Foundry.
playing Tom Petty in the background.
Yeah. I DJ it for some little while. Have you been back since?
I haven't.
Have you seen what it is though?
I know it's a pizza place.
It's a really nice pizza place. It'd be cool if you and I go there sometime.
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah, I think so. You know, because we know what it looked like before. Nobody knows what it used to be. Man.
Dang. You remember how that final day, like, let's see. Do you remember what that final day was like? Like, what was the song that we closed it out to for, like, the last time?
Where at the Foundry?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. What was
You're
it?
gonna love it. Somebody, as they were saying, okay, it's time to wrap up, went ahead and placed closing time over the speakers.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, it's funny, like, that song has more longevity than you would think, because
No kidding.
even kids today, they know that song. Like, I don't know how though, but you know, the craziest thing is, like, maybe last year I was like, there was a kid who graduated high school, and I'm like, I was doing the math, and I'm like, what year were you born in? Like 2003, 2002? And he's like, yeah, 2003. And I'm like, so you've never lived in a world pre 9/11?
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, all they've known is like, oh yeah, you know, the towers fell before I was born, and there was a war going on either just before or just after or since I was born, or...
Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
I remember walking through the halls of, what was it, middle school or no, high school.
Yeah, because you're at least 2 years older than me.
Yeah, I graduated in 04. So, when did 9/11 happen?
In 2001.
There we go, yeah. So I was in high school. I was still in high school, yeah.
Okay.
2001, so yeah, I was probably like a junior or something. No. Freshman, if I graduated in 2004. I don't know. Freshman, yeah?
I've never known the
Yeah.
whole taxonomy of like, oh, are you a sophomore or are you a freshman? No, I'm a senior. I never got that whole thing. It's like, I don't care what I am as long as I don't have to go there anymore.
Well, 4 years is high school, right? So
I guess.
2004 I graduated, so I'm guessing maybe a freshman.
Is there a difference between junior high and middle school? Like, what exactly is that?
Oh, junior high and middle school are the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I learned this now that I'm 32.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know. Made me think of that movie Extinction. I just saw that last night. Have you seen that?
I don't know that I have.
Michael Pena, I think, is the guy's name. He was in the movie Ant-Man with Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah. Extinction. Is it?
I don't know if it's a Netflix movie or not.
Is it one of those giant shark movies?
No.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
a giant shark movie. Oh, with the makeup.
Oh,
with Jason
that's what I
Statham? No, Extinction. It's pretty. It had a twist in it. I think you should check it out. I think you might like it.
Let me ask you this. Was it as bad as the movie we made? It's like...
What, Extinction?
Or Mega... Well, it's...
Oh, Mega. I haven't even seen that Megatropolis or Megamind. No.
It's, I think my favorite bit from Nightmare Syndrome that you ad-libbed was, you see this? It's a bowling ball. You see that? It's pins. Like, you just striked out. That's baseball. And it's like, what does that even mean?
It's a metaphor.
I don't know. A metaphor for what, though?
I don't know what that guy was thinking, but I'm sure that's something he would say.
Like...
For life.
I've legit thought about, like, remaking that movie.
Yeah?
Like, I don't know, would it retain the same spirit?
I would like to make something. I would like to make something new, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like...
And I'd like to make something new with you, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, you know? That's why I asked you about that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know? I liked that kind of duo type of characters, you know?
I guess, who would be who in that? Oh, God.
Well, let's see. I would be your stunt double.
Yeah. It would have to be like it would have to be in like a time like that, like if I was like when you could have like, when you could have, and it was likely to have, a white guy like try to pass off as Hispanic. And of course I have like an actual Hispanic guy be the stunt double. It's like, why don't we just get him? Like, and I think it makes me think of, I don't know how true it is, but I think in the old Star Trek, the one with Kirk, you know how they would do stunts and everything? Like they would do far away shots of the stunts happening. That way you couldn't see that it wasn't Leonard Nimoy or William Shatner. And supposedly one of the things they did was they got William Shatner, his stunt double was like supposedly black. They just made him look like him.
Really?
I don't know. I think just one of those things I heard my dad say in passing. Or maybe it was that made-for-TV Kiss movie, Kiss Meets the Phantom.
I haven't seen that. Oh, it was made for TV?
Yeah, it's...
Kiss Meets the Phantom? What's the Phantom?
It has something to do with some...
I think of Billy Corgan, not Billy Corgan, Billy Zane.
Oh.
Playing the Phantom, you remember that?
I remember who he is, like Titanic and Zoolander.
Zoolander is my main one for him. Oh yeah, Titanic. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is like, shoot, what was it? What was I going on about? How do we go from Billy Zane to... But shoot, I'm gonna remember what we were talking about like further down the line. It's gonna bug me.
This.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Suppose I think it wasn't Captain Kirk that had a black stunt double, but I think it was in Kiss Meets the Phantom. Mm-hmm. It's basically at like a Power Rangers level of cheesiness.
Oh, nice.
And
this is a classic.
Yeah. And I think what they did was I think it was like Gene Simmons or one of them, their stunt double was a black dude, and it would be easier to hide in Kiss makeup.
Yeah.
Like I once went to Fitzgerald's and I saw a Marilyn Manson tribute band. Nice. And then I looked them up, and I think the lead singer was black.
What are they called?
I don't know, but I just remember they played at Fitzgerald's, and when I looked them up on Facebook and I saw the lead singer, like it was a black dude.
That's cool.
And I'm like, I wouldn't have been able to tell with like because of the makeup.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, well, I know you remember Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember one Halloween, he dressed up as a black guy. Like, he painted his face,
wow.
he put on a fro, he had a Miami Dolphins jersey on. And
when was this?
He wore some FUBU jeans. And it was funny because a friend of ours, Haywood, he's a black guy, and him and I were hanging out at a friend's house, and Aaron comes walking up, and Haywood looks out the window, does a double take, and he's like, man, who's this nigga walking up? And it was Aaron, you know? So that inspired Haywood to want to be a white guy for Halloween. So he painted his face up and put on a blonde wig. That's fun. On that. Yeah, and then the only I remember that little black boy in that movie, Role Models.
Oh yeah.
Remember that he puts on the Gene Simmons makeup.
Oh yeah. So I think it all ties together. He's like, I'm not Ben Affleck. He's like, you white, you Ben Affleck.
That's a good movie. I want to see The Rundown. Speaking of, not Jason Scott. What's his name? Stifler. Stifler's in the movie.
Jason Scottley, or I forget.
Isn't that the guy who plays Bruce Lee? Jason Scottley.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Stifler, the guy who plays Stifler.
What was his name? Jason something.
Stifler.
Jason
Stifler.
We can't remember your last name, so you're Stifler.
Yeah, you're Stifler.
Yep, that's gonna... Wouldn't it be terrible if, like, the person who makes his tombstone, like, they, like, lose a form of identification, so they just put Stifler on his tombstone?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened intentionally. But,
They just mixed the tombstones up.
yeah. Duh. But anyway, like, I remember, oh gosh, I don't look good on camera.
Sure you do.
We never had cameras this good when we did our music videos, did we?
I don't think so.
Yeah, like, it was always those pawn shop cameras, like,
You worked a long time for this one, I remember.
yeah, it was like 60,
Doing some extra
yeah,
overtime.
yeah, duh. It was worth it. I've had it for like 6 years now.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, duh. Blah. What time is it?
9:36.
Okay, we've been talking for longer than I
Time flies when I'm with you, man.
Yep.
I like these solid colors we got going on here.
Oh yeah, like
We should do something here.
yeah, like another music video or a movie.
Yeah, I kind of like some dialogue going. you know?
Yeah.
I like when we talk about movies.
Yeah.
You know, what'd be cool is if we maybe film us talking about whether it be dreams or ideas or like part for like, you know what I like about some of the, like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was there was a movie about making movies, so you got to see the movies they were in. So like, I don't know if you saw this one interview with Quentin Tarantino, but he was talking about if I could have just like, if Once Upon a Time in Hollywood could have been like one whole episode of Lance, and then the 13 Fists of McCluskey. You know, just film that whole movie. That could have been, you know, that could have been something in itself. So maybe one thing we can do is have like either dream sequences or we're talking to each other, telling each other. Like for instance, I was telling you about Aaron dressing up as a black dude in Haywood. You know, seeing him.
Yeah.
You know, like we could reenact that. Exactly.
Oh gosh, the internet would crucify us. Like,
I thought
yeah, let's not. I mean, I guess it happened at a time when the internet wasn't the minefield that it is
I bought
today.
Trumpet Thunder the other day.
You know, it kind of winks at the camera enough where it's like, we know this is messed up, but that's what we're making fun of. But I heard people are trying to go after Robert Downey Jr. now.
Well, they're not gonna succeed, or like Dave Chappelle, like they're not gonna.
Oh, Dave Chappelle.
I know they got Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon apologized, poor guy.
But Jamie Foxx, like, even he was like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it was such a different time.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, I think the biggest mistake was companies lending credence to the outrage mobs. I guess they saw this as like, oh shoot, they might not buy our stuff. Yeah, we don't like them either. Yeah!
we don't like him either.
It just makes me think of like the Dave Chappelle thing where it's like, I did not like that one bit. Then another white guy pops and goes, yeah, I didn't like it either. But, I had a feeling that Sharon Tate wasn't actually going to die in that movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, just like he did with Inglourious Bastards. It was like, surprise! But, one of the things I thought was so interesting about that movie was when I heard that they were doing a movie about, I almost said Marilyn Manson, Charles Manson. You know, movies like that, you know, I think, didn't we all like have an kind of an idea of what the movie was going to be like?
Yeah, I was going to think, you know, that it's going to be based off, well, I mean, it was based off facts, but I like that twisted of the end, you know.
Yeah.
I really did. So yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I feel like the movie that we thought we were going to get was like, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio's character like meets Marilyn Manson, and he's like this charismatic, cool figure who helps him deal with his issues, but then makes him go down a rabbit hole of craziness that culminates with him almost or actually killing Sharon Tate.
I remember that you seen that in the review. Yeah.
But
that would have been interesting.
Interesting.
Very crazy twist.
But I think it was one of those things where it was really cool that they didn't show Charles Manson except
once or twice.
Yeah, and you didn't get a sense of him as a person except for the obvious influence he had on his followers. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, and then Reservoir Dogs, I like that. You know, it was a heist movie, but you didn't see the heist.
Yeah, I've heard a rumor.
I need to see it again.
I've heard a rumor that they shot a heist scene, but they just didn't use it.
Oh, no kidding.
But I don't know how true it is. It sounds like one of those internet lores that's like, you know, I don't know.
Speaking of lores, you've seen Pulp Fiction, right, man? We should do a Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Yeah, I mean, next. We have. I mean, this looks like the place where this could pass as the place where Uma Thurman OD'd.
There she is, right there.
What? Oh yeah.
Sorry, well, we didn't see you there.
But
I'm gonna talk to you like you're not here, but talking about you like you're not here.
But
so Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I've seen. I think
Marcellus Wallace. You know who Marcellus Wallace is, right?
No,
I can't remember his name. Well, he's the black dude with the Band-Aid on the back of his
head. Yeah, I know him.
Okay,
I thought you were talking about the actor.
Now, you remember the suitcase?
Yeah.
They'd open up and they'd see a light come out?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think was in the suitcase?
Oh, I don't know. I've heard so many rumors.
What was one that stuck out to you? There's one that stuck out to me that I'm like, man, that's a cool one. I like that. I'll stick with that one.
I think the craziest rumor I heard was like the presence of God or something.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. It was actually a friend of mine, Daniel. He said, or maybe it was Ricky. I can't remember which one of them. They're brothers. So one of them said it. Is that it's Marcellus Wallace's soul in the suitcase?
Oh,
right. And the Band-Aid on the back of it is where they extracted the soul from.
Dang.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Man, we should be taking notes. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got it on video. So.
Yeah. We'll go. We'll get it. We'll get it right. Key and Peele, you like them? They're
oh yeah, it's funny.
Comedy show.
It's funny. There's this girl who I talk with twice a week. She's from church, and we have a Zoom meeting twice a week because to try to help her improve her English.
Nice.
And she loves Key and Peele. Yeah, she says that's how she helps her English get better.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she loves the one where they're on the airplane and the guy just refuses to put on his seatbelt and tries to go to the restroom.
I saw that one the other day.
And then he's just looking at the camera like...
Yeah.
I think the one that I saw after that was like, hey bro, I've got a ratatouille.
Oh yeah.
And he just has there's a rat in his apartment that makes food.
Yeah.
He's like, there's mouse poop all over that. It's like, that's my ratatouille or something. But
I like the two guys. What are they? Bellhops or valet parkers?
Something like that. And
Liam Neeson's. Oh, that's my shit.
But I don't remember.
I thought about what's his name? Jordan Peele or Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peele is the one I think who made Get Out. Keegan-Michael. Oh, that's the great way. Jordan Peele. He went and did Get Out, and he's shown that
I like his stuff.
He's shown that he's just as apt at making serious stuff as he is comedy, but it really shouldn't be a surprise because all their cinematic, parodies or all their shorts they did, those felt like real movies.
Yeah.
And so it should come as no surprise that if he's gonna...
I don't know why I thought about him today.
Huh?
I thought about them today. Well, him
yeah?
particularly, yeah, about his directing and...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, and his blend between comedy and horror.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, there's this one where he plays like a baby, like... I guess, which one is the ball guy again?
Keegan.
He's Keegan, right?
Yeah.
So he's Key.
The tall one is, yeah.
So he plays like a guy who's like dating Jordan's mom, right?
Oh, really?
And so Jordan, he's playing like a baby. So it's like this baby body with Jordan's head on it.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Which is episode I'm talking about?
I think I remember seeing them, one of them as a baby at some point, but it's like...
I want some mama's milk.
Duh.
Creepy. It was creepy. It was funny, but it was so creepy at the same time. Just
Yeah.
got this weird vibe. I don't know if you're familiar with Apex Twin.
I can't say that I
I'm
am.
gonna send you some videos.
Oh,
Videos.
okay.
Pretty creeped out. Pretty creeped out.
Like, it's funny, like, I remember when we did do Nightmare Syndrome, it was like, it didn't even, I mean, we were making a horror movie, but I chose that as like my first feature because there's people will give those movies so much slack, more than any other kind of movie.
Horror?
Yeah.
That's a fun genre though too.
Yeah.
It could be really fun. It could be like, very scary too. But it could also be funny.
Yeah, it's
Evil
one...
Dead?
Like,
that is scary.
It
Evil
is.
Dead's pretty creepy, man. You watch those special effects?
I've seen the original and I've seen the remake.
There was an Evil Dead remake?
Yeah, I think it was like back in 2010, like early in the 2000s.
Oh, I didn't see that.
What's funny is, spoiler alert, at the very, like,
Evil Dead. Spoiler alert, guys.
Bruce Campbell, during the press tour, said...
I love his suit, by the way.
Oh, yeah. He said something like, "Oh, I'm in the movie, but you got to pay close attention." And at the very end of the credits afterwards, he just turns to the camera and goes, "Groovy, baby."
That was his part in the whole movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so funny. God.
And I heard there was going to be a fourth movie that would have have him like meet the girl from like the remake.
Oh man, I'm starting to feel like I'm getting an idea for like a
Oh,
film,
yeah?
right? Like it could be about a writer, right? And you're the writer, right? And you're like developing a story. Not too sure what the story is exactly, but in the story within it'll kind of be like a story within a story. So like maybe I could play your character in what it is that you're writing. You know what I mean?
This is super meta, Morty. Okay, I'm not too sure about this.
And we can switch out. Like sometimes you can see yourself as what you're writing, and then you see yourself as myself. Depending on what. Almost kind of like a Fight Club thing too. Like I think about. Have you seen that?
I'm so embarrassed to say I haven't.
Really?
I've seen. I mean, I know who David Fincher is.
Well, I am Tyler's lack of. I'm Jack's lack of surprise. No, I'm actually surprised. I'm Jack's surprise. Well, but you don't get what I'm saying.
I kind of don't, but.
Well, we gotta watch that movie now.
Yeah. I know who David Fincher is, but...
Didn't you do Batman?
No, that wasn't him.
Shoot, I'm thinking of Nolan. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Although, like, I have this list of... Well, I say list, it's two people. Two people who I would love to see... Well, I guess you could...
To the death.
Well, I guess you could say three people. Three people who I'd love to see direct a Batman movie are David Fincher... Shoot, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. David O. Russell and Darren Aronofsky.
Kind of a fan of all the D's.
Yeah.
David.
But like, it's purely coincidental.
Yeah.
their and my name starts with, you know, D's.
His name starts with a David.
Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, so like, I mean, you know which movies they've all directed, right? You've seen David Fincher stuff. David O. Russell did The Fighter and Silver Lining Playbook.
Oh, yeah.
And Darren Aronofsky, he did The Wrestler. And
I like The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, right?
Yeah, like that was the first movie I saw where I was conscious.
Like a gritty, serious.
He came close to directing a Batman movie in the early 2000s.
So who's directing the new Batman?
This dude named Matt Reeves. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
But he's kind of most known for having directed the last 2 Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be good because, you know, each of the movies have done something. Like, they've added something new. Like, if you even want to talk about the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, like, is that an ice cream truck?
Right? It's 10 o'clock at night. It is an ice cream truck. I'm stopping for some snacks. Look, they're stopped for some snacks. You want something from the ice cream man?
Huh? No, I'm good.
You want like a Frito pie or anything?
Oh, it's cool.
Come on, little boy. Want you to drink?
Oh, that sounds good.
Get in here. It's another Vigilante Part 2. Ice cream man.
That could be the 80s horror movie.
I haven't seen the movie Lighthouse, but I am a fan of black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? With William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson? We lock ourselves out.
Would have been hysterical. But anyway, so, yeah, what Matt Reeves is going to do with Batman is, like all the other movies, like, even Adam West, like, the Adam West TV Batman was reflective of what Batman was in the comics at the time. So it's like, you know, it shows that, like, okay, comic book material could be adapted.
Yeah.
And then the Tim Burton ones showed, like, okay, it can be dark and gothic, like what the comics were like at the time, and what some would say was the original intent of the comics before the Comics Code Authority was like, no, it's got to be appropriate for children. But I'm almost a little bit concerned that there's an ice cream man at this time of night.
They're selling treats right now. You want a treat?
I'm fine. Like, the only reason I would dare to go out there is, like, make sure it's an ice cream man and not something more nefarious.
Creeped out?
Yeah.
Like the Creep Show?
I guess, but
you ever seen Creep Show?
I haven't.
Yeah, we should do like a horror, like did you ever seen Trilogy of Terror? Or are you a fan of short, like a movie, pretty much of a variety of short films?
I mean, if something sounds interesting, I'll watch it. But
what's a good writing process for you?
I think I remember seeing this video with Kevin Smith and Stan Lee from like 2002 or so. It was right when, like, not MCU movies, but movies based off Marvel characters like X-Men and the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man were coming out. And so Kevin Smith did an interview with Stan Lee, and I think the thing that struck me was, like, you know, about his story writing process was just asking questions.
Yeah.
Like, it was all about, like, you know, what would a superhero look like who, like, could stick to walls and stuff, and why would he be a superhero? And he thought, like, well, what if he became a superhero because he did something really unheroic and that wound up, you know, affecting someone he loved, and that's how the story of Uncle Ben came about.
That's good.
He was kind of the first, like, some people, more cynical people might say that, like, Stanley is overblown, but really, he really committed to the whole idea of, like, thinking, like, okay, why are they doing this, and, like, who's beyond the mask and the capes.
Yeah.
And
character development.
yeah, like, before then it was kind of just like, oh, let's do some cool battles, and then, you know, that's
cool
it.
Costumes.
Yeah.
Colorful. You know, like back to Quentin Tarantino on Reservoir Dogs, he was talking about developing the story and, like, how, you know, he started noticing, like, little relationships between the characters and how much deeper they really go. But those are the types of things that they don't necessarily get written out blatantly, but that they convey within the story. Like, the story within the characters that you don't see much, like maybe, like, for instance,
Oh, yeah.
our two characters, right? Maybe my character sees you as, like, a father type of figure. It doesn't say anything in the dialogue.
Yeah, but it's
the way
like,
we act and talk and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you can see that kind of in the eyes of that character. You know, I like that. Man, he put it really cool. And I'm gonna screw it all up, but he's talking about how what you're trying to capture on the film is the stuff in between the lines. You know?
oh yeah, I remember that bit. It was
You know
like,
what I'm talking about.
I think he said he wrote, there was an article by Pauline Kael, and it was the review of, I think, the movie Breathless or something like that. And I think that was like the first, I think it was Jean-Luc Godard's first film that he made. I heard that Francois Truffaut he wrote the original draft, but Jean-Luc Godard, like, supposedly just didn't do anything with it, or he modified it so much that it's unrecognizable. But anyway, I remember him saying that she said it's like a bunch of crazed young French filmmakers took a banal American crime novel and wrote about the poetry that was in between the lines.
Yes, that's exactly.
And he's like, that's my aesthetic. And, like,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I remember, I think the significance of Quentin Tarantino for me is the fact that he showed you could make whatever kind of movie you wanted to. And, like, I became aware of him, like, the first year that I wanted to make films. And, like, I remember I was at the Dollar Theater. Well, back then it was a Dollar Theater. I think they've reconverted it to, like, a more luxurious thing. Thank God.
About Cinema 16?
Yeah, I think a couple.
They've redone it?
Yeah, now.
Remodeled?
Yeah,
Actual building.
Yeah, it's a more posh theater now, and
That's cool.
Well,
I like Cinemark.
The thing is, though, it's not a second run. It's like they don't show. It's not a Dollar Theater anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, but thank goodness we have the Regal Fiesta 16. They still show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll show movies for, like, ridiculously cheap.
I haven't been to the movie theater in a while.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has.
Yeah.
We're gonna date this video horribly.
Is the Draft House open yet?
I don't know. I heard something about them filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah, right.
I
think so.
Well, I've seen a lot of videos where, you know, analysis and review videos where such and such company files for bankruptcy, and, you know, then they come out on top. But I
heard Gold's Gym was doing that.
Yeah, but there's still some around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Anyway, I remember, like, I was at the Dollar Theater and I saw a trailer for Kill Bill.
Oh man, I've been thinking about that movie all day today. Actually, like it'll cross my mind. Charlie Brown's son. Anyways, what about?
Yeah, it's like Charlie Brown's son, kiss me or something, and he's like, and but that movie was just such a like. It was a melting pot of all this stuff. It was like the Japanese samurai films, blaxploitation, spaghetti westerns. It was such a mix, and it never felt... I mean, in the wrong hands, it could have been a parody film and felt like one, but it wasn't, right?
No.
And I think he put all these things together, which prior to, I'd have thought, oh, you can't do that, or it would be silly, but he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, in a way, that's like why I felt the freedom to be who I am and like the stuff that I like and make things the way I make them. And where people are like, those two things don't go together, but somehow it's like so complementary.
I agree. I love those types of artists that give you permission to just go at it, you know?
I'm really surprised I didn't see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood more times in the theater.
Bijou. Have you been to the Bijou?
I've been there a couple times. Shoot, I can't remember the... Oh, I remember. Man, like...
Oh, I remember now, too, the last time I was there. Last time I was there, they'd been remodeled, and I was like, man, this is nice. I remember sitting in there thinking, like, it was a good position away from the screen. It was roomy. It was nice. And we saw that movie, The Dead Will Die? It was with Bill Murray. It was that zombie movie with the guy who was in Star Wars, the new guy, Star Wars guy.
It's that... I know.
The Dead Always Die, or The Dead Never Die? The Dead Never Die, I think.
I think it was some sort of movie that it had this like art house director who we were like, oh,
Coffee and Cigarettes. He directed that movie. I like that guy.
It's like we're like, what? He's doing a zombie flick?
Well, I like his movies. I don't even know what he looks like, but
I think from what I understand, I think his name's Jim Jarmusch.
Something like that.
But anyway,
another cool movie, another favorite of mine, real quick, Dead Man. I like that movie. Johnny Depp.
I remember you lent me a DVD copy, and I don't think I ever got to watch
Never watched it?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
You're a horrible friend.
I know.
No, but anyways, what were you saying?
Yeah, going back to the dollars. Shoot, I lost my train. Oh, the last movie I saw at the Bijou was actually Ghostbusters, of all things.
What?
Yeah, I think this was leading up to the 2016 Ghostbusters, and so like I guess with local theaters they were trying to develop hype, and
love that guy.
So what happened was they were like, oh, there's going to be a free screening, first come, first serve.
Oh, nice.
And it was
they do that. They show free movies there.
And it was a packed house.
It's every Tuesday.
Like, but this was an event.
Nice.
It was filled, and I remember my sister, she was there, and she was worried, like, oh, it's such an old movie, I wonder if it's going to hold up, and
Of course, got Bill Murray.
And it's like, you know, it didn't matter that the special effects were not up to today's standards.
Yeah, they're good, though. There's something about those times, special effects, you know, like puppets and such.
Yeah, but the funny thing was, it was like, it was such a communal experience. Like, the story was like airtight, and like everybody reacted to all the same moments, and and they were trying to develop like, oh, there's going to be a new Ghostbusters movie, and I remember I heard like some controversy about it, like, oh, it's not as good as the other one, and
of course not.
But
different.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it and I'm like, in all honesty, it's like the aesthetic wasn't the same, the type of humor felt different, and I will give it this. I think it had a solid first act where they set everything up, and a pretty solid third act. But it was like the middle of the movie that felt kind of muddled and like.
And you're talking about this new Ghostbusters?
No, the 2016 one.
With the girls?
Yeah.
That's
And
what I
like,
thought you were talking about,
yeah, like
kind of reminded me of the movie Hocus Pocus, except not as good. I haven't seen the Ghostbusters with the ladies in it.
it's not the. You know, if you're bored and you have time to kill, but I feel like I'm one of those 90s kids who, like, I never saw Hocus Pocus.
Man.
Yeah, I think it was because...
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it was back then...
you know, like Bette Midler.
Yeah, like, my dad was like, oh, witchcraft, and, like, or anything with magic. Okay, he was, like, really, like...
Dude, we should make a movie with magic. We should make a movie about witchcraft and magic.
Yeah, like...
we should do taboo shit. Stuff that was, I guess, like, you know, little stuff. Doesn't got to be crazy taboo, but, like... No, but something like that. Like, you just remember, like, your dad, you know, not wanting you guys to do some witchcraft stuff or whatever.
It's funny, like, even... And, like, one thing that it's funny, like, this isn't a taboo or anything, but one of the things I did recently was, like, I bought, like, the Super Nintendo Classic because we're one of those families that was...
Super Nintendo? You got
one?
Oh,
no, not Super Nintendo, the NES Classic. It's a re-release of the old system, but with games built into it, and it's like
little one, right?
Yeah.
Those are so cool. My friend's got one.
Yeah, I bought that because it was like... It was one of those things where, like, we were one of those kids that didn't have a console system.
I got one for my 6th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
A Nintendo original.
And, dang, that would have been, like, 91.
You're good.
Well, I remember, like, 91 was also... It must have been, like, a discount because, like... I know that 91 was the year they released the Super Nintendo. So, like, yeah, it's funny. That was the same way we got our first system. It was a PlayStation.
Oh, I never got the PlayStation.
Really?
I did Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis. That was probably about it. I had a Game Boy.
Oh, yeah. Pocket or the giant brick?
The brick.
Oh, yeah. I got the Game Boy Pocket. My 2 favorite Christmas presents ever were...
Game Boy Pocket.
And the PlayStation. And the funny story behind the PlayStation was I liked it because it had these weird games. Like, the first game I saw was Crash Bandicoot. I remember there was a Sega Saturn and there was a PlayStation next to each other. The Sega Saturn had that game Knights or something where you were this purple thing that flew around or whatever. And I never really... Actually, I don't even think it had a demo. I think it just played video of it. So I'm like, well, I can't even play this. But the PlayStation demo had a level of Crash Bandicoot. And even then, I kind of thought, like, oh, this is supposed to be like their Mario or something.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fun, like basically their mascot.
Yeah.
And
he reminds you of like a mascot that would be for like a cereal.
Oh, yeah.
Honeycomb. Remember that honeycomb guy?
Yeah. But funny thing, like, so I remember my grandparents got us that, and I thought for sure, like, we all wanted the PlayStation, and like, so they're like, oh, you want the PlayStation, right? I'm like, well, let me ask my brothers and my sister, and I thought they would all want it too. I'm like, hey, do we want the N64 or the PlayStation? And they all wanted the N64. And the N64 didn't have the games I wanted. Oh. I wanted RPG Maker. I wanted, I wanted Crash Bandicoot. So I paused and I thought, and then I said over the phone, yeah, we all want the PlayStation. I'm like, what?
Hey, man, don't kill the messenger.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
You making something?
I was thinking about making some leftover pizza. I have some pizza that I haven't eaten. Would you like some?
Does it have stuff on it?
It does.
Oh, okay, doke.
Never mind. All for me.
Yep.
Does it have stuff on it?
Yes.
Yeah, David, it's a pizza.
I have the palate of a 5-year-old when it comes to pizza.
What you like? Just cheese pizza?
cheese, pepperoni, meatballs. But the funny thing is, I can eat fermented radish.
Radish
It's
is
called
I've
kimchi.
never had. Oh, kimchi. Okay.
Yeah, kimchi.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like
We should go get some noodles, ramen sometime.
Yeah.
You like ramen?
yeah, like I prefer soba or udon noodles. The difference between that and is that like the noodles are thicker.
Yeah.
And if I didn't hang out with Koreans so much, I'd be way more pickier than I am.
Man, that's cool. You ever think about making like well, I like in how Inglorious Bastards and in Django too. Like, there's different languages in there.
Oh yeah,
I really love that, and you know, I like how it has the opportunity, for like, you know, to blend like not only cultures but languages and characters, and kind of makes it, I don't know, interesting. You know, dynamic.
yeah. I remember one idea I had for a movie was, and I realized this is one of the few times I thought this would probably be a better show than it would be a movie. I had the idea of a guy who one day he wakes up and he can't speak English anymore.
Oh,
that it
man.
just sounds like
You could
mumbling.
be that guy.
Yeah, that
But
just
you just
sound.
speak Korean.
Well, like the lore of the story was going to be like, it was going to be kind of like, you know, Nicolas Cage, The Family Man, where
I love
he
Nicolas
meets
Cage,
some
man.
he meets some mysterious figure who's like an angel or something, and the next day something outstanding happens, and he's like, the lore of the story would be he can't speak the dominant language of the area he's in, and so like English he doesn't understand anymore. Spanish he can sort of pick up because it's San Antonio, but he has a hard time, and so like I guess kind of like to bring it back to like, I guess referencing my life is like he overhears somebody speaking in Korean and he understands that, and so like he goes to church and he tries explaining this insane scenario of like he can't speak English anymore, and I guess like to me it made sense that he'd wind up at a church because it was like, you know, maybe they'd think, oh, this is like an act of God or something. Like, I don't know why, like, but for some reason the Lord's let this happen. And so like I never did anything because it felt like too big, and like I'd have to like a lot of like managing resources or whatever, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it's one of those things like have you been to the Denman Estate Park or yeah, it's this place that's like near Callahan. It looks like it's in Korea. Like they have this wall and gateway.
So you can make it out to be as if you are somewhere else.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Again, I think about Quentin Tarantino and I think about Pulp Fiction, and it was very dialogue driven, but there was action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was action packed. Like whether it be throwing a needle through your chest, you know, but that's something you can do. You know, that's something we can put on film.
Yeah.
So I like that where this is going about. What can you fit in a budget, right? How can we change scenarios? How can we make more dynamic characters? You know, something that just kind of makes you want to watch, you know. You can edit like subtitles on your film, can you?
Yeah.
Or I don't know, edit, but I mean like put them on there. I don't know what the term would be for that. But like you have some friends that speak. Do they speak like nothing but Korean, or is it,
Oh, I mean, obviously they speak
variety.
English.
Yeah. So I'm sure they can do both.
I knew a girl who speaks, I forget if it's Mandarin or Cantonese, but she speaks it decently. And I had a friend he was from China who went there, but he moved to California to be with his family. And let's see. I did have a guy who there was a guy there who he actually like grew up in Japan, although he was ethnically Korean. And he spoke Japanese flawlessly. And one of the things, like, even before, like, I found out he grew up in Japan, when I would hear him speak Korean and other people, I kind of felt like there's something different about the way he's saying stuff.
He's got an accent.
Like, it felt kind of like that. Like,
Nah, you're good. So you've noticed how your own Korean has gotten better?
well, I mean, you can pick up on, like, small little things, and I'm a far cry, but one of the things I've committed to doing this year is, like, you know, at my church, we have this thing called, like, the morning service, where, like, there's a small 30-minute service. Crazy thing is, it happens at, like, 5:30 in the morning.
Jeez.
Monday through Friday, and I guess it's not too different from, like, Mass or something, although I've never been to Mass. But, yeah, it lasts maybe half hour, and when I get home, like, before I used to just, you know, go back to bed before work, but I wound up feeling better when I would just, you know, stay up and do something, and I've been trying to study more, and I think I've gotten better.
Studying, like,
Korean,
language?
yeah, and just, you know, making videos and editing. Just, I think Elon Musk said something about, like, work 100 hours a week, because most people only work 40, and you'll
catch up.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one. Reminds me of old Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah, rest his soul.
Yeah, talking about, you know, if you get an earlier start, you can work pretty much you can work a longer day. You know, you get up at 3 or 4.
Yeah,
go to work for a couple hours, get something to eat, come back, do some more work, take a little break, do no more. You know.
I thought I could function on 4 hours of sleep.
So you could or couldn't?
I thought I could. I gave it a shot, but I realized I've got to do like 11 to 5.
11 to 5 hours?
Or like 11.
Is that what you mean, 11 to 5 hours?
No, sleep from like, say, 11 to 5 at the very least.
Oh, okay. So you need what? 12, 6 hours of sleep?
6 or 5. Like, I'm good. Like, I just got to drink a lot of caffeine. But,
have you heard about Leonardo DiCaprio? Leonardo da Vinci's crazy sleep schedule?
Something like that.
Something like every 2 hours or something.
Oh, gosh. I guess he was just always in that sort of hinterland between awake and asleep. I heard Thomas Edison did something like that.
Jeez, it sounds exhausting, to be honest.
It's like, but there is something to that when, like...
I bet there
like,
is.
We have this open house at my church, like, for, like, the young adults, like, all the college kids and 20-somethings, and, like, it happens on a Saturday night, and it's basically just games, a sermon, and, you know, dinner, and it's, like, 3 hours long, and,
Korean dinner?
Yeah, like...
Yummy.
Yeah, it's a mix of stuff. Sometimes it's Korean, sometimes it's more...
Olive Garden.
Yeah, no, it's always handmade.
Nice. Even better.
But yeah, since at least 2015, I've been shooting the videos for it, and I always have a video that's ready by the next day. Now, before I used to shoot 3 hours worth of stuff. I would shoot literally everything. Now I shoot maybe 2 hours, and I always wind up, on average, staying up till like 3 in the morning. But here's the crazy thing. It's like, it's as the night goes on that, like, you know, where I feel like I'm able to, like, the closer I get to 3, like, the more I'm able to just, like, get rid of stuff I don't need. Like, okay, what am I really trying to say with this shot, and what best captures the spirit of, like, you know, that makes this event.
Yeah.
I think the pizza's ready.
Oh, the oven's heated.
Oh, okay. All right.
I haven't even thrown the pizza in yet.
Oh, okay. But anyway.
Yeah, it's pineapple and bacon. And
oh, yeah, that's not my cup of tea. But anyway, yeah, there is something about, like, I guess it's like when your brain is usually dreaming. So it's like gives you some
creative state.
I guess so. Like, I mean, I would think that dreams are creative because it's like you're making up all these crazy scenarios.
When's the last time you remember having a dream?
Last night.
Really? Man, you're good. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like I dream the most when I'm out of town. Like,
oh yeah,
particularly for work. You know, I feel like I don't know why I dream so much more out of town. Like I have an easier time remembering my dreams. But when I'm in town, you know, I'll dream, but I don't remember them as vividly, or even dream them as vividly. I feel. I wonder why that is sometimes.
Oh, who knows?
You ever want to film any of your dreams? Like, man, that'd have been cool. Oh.
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing. The thing that stood out to me is like, I had a dream the other day where part of it was I was Data from Star Trek.
Oh my God.
I said to... and I
could see that.
Yeah. And I was like with Jean-Luc Picard, and I said something to the effect of like, Captain, I believe you owe me an apology. And I don't even know what it was about, but it was like...
I'd love to remake that. Put you in a Star Wars shirt, or Star Wars, Star Trek.
Oh gosh, fandoms from both denominations are going to hate us.
I know, they're gonna have a damn day. But that would be fun.
Yeah.
A Star Trek scene with you and I.
But it's like, it didn't feel like, you know, the sort of thing Data would say to him.
Oh.
But and the dream ended with a friend of mine. She went back to Korea. It featured a friend who went back to Korea, and it was like, you know, most mornings or Friday. It was like most morning services or Friday night services where what is it? Yeah, I remember in this dream, it was, I think, like a Friday night service, and we were done and we're just walking to our cars, and I said, "See you next time" to her. And then I woke up and she's gone back to Korea for like the remainder of 2020. Mm-hmm. But it was just funny, like, huh, I don't know what that was about.
Beats me.
Yeah. But anyway.
Man, her breath stinks. I smell it all over my hand from her biting me. I'm gonna wash my hand off.
Well, I mean, it's a cat.
It smells like fish. Fish breath. Fish breath.